Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2021 Mott Memorial Service, celebrating the children of Mott. A sincere thank you to each of you for joining us today. I am Amy Van Tyne, the Children's and Women's Bereavement Program Manager for Mott Children's Hospital and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital at Michigan Medicine, and the chair of this year's Mott Memorial. I want to begin by recognizing that this has been a very unusual and difficult time, even in the ordinary lives of most people. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted our ability to gather and together remember very special babies, children, and young adults last year. And as such, it has required us to gather virtually for the safety of all this year. More importantly, while we are so pleased to have technology available to allow us this time today, we know that much greater than the impact of this event has been the impact on how families and loved ones have been limited in the ability to safely connect in person for significant moments, important traditions, meaningful rituals, and even simple but exceedingly important hugs from loved ones. This year, though we are gathered virtually, we are still gathered together in our grief and in remembrance of these very special loved ones. A focus of our planning was on the beauty and the light in our connection to nature. We have the pleasure of working with talented colleagues who created pieces of art with this theme in the painting you received on the invitation and in composed music you will hear today. I would like to let you know that the chat is now live and we have members of our planning committee responding to questions. We anticipate having a recording to share of this memorial event with you by email within a few weeks. At Mott Children's and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospitals, we care for and we care about our patients and families who beautifully bring diversity of culture, spirituality, traditions, and perspectives to our work and to our lives. Our time together today is intended to be one of celebrating all who have loved and connecting all who grieve together. Today, we will hear messages from a number of people who have experienced loss in personal ways or in professional connections and relationships, and for some, both of these experiences are true. Every family story is important, and we hope through this memorial, you will feel the care, love, and compassion that has been the focus throughout our planning, and you will know your children are remembered. On behalf of the Mott Memorial Planning Committee, I would like to thank all of our speakers, readers, and musicians who volunteered to make today's event possible. Most importantly, to all of you, the families who shared your precious children with us and have allowed us to remember and honor them today, we thank you. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Chief Operating Officer for Mott Children's and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospitals. Please join me in welcoming Luann Thomas Ewald.
Thank you so much, Amy. Welcome. My name is Luann Thomas Ewald, and I am the Chief Operating Officer at CS Mott Children's Hospital and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital. Everyone here extends our deepest sympathy as you grieve the death of your child. We recognize that this is an extremely difficult time for you and your family. You are part of our family, and that's why we are here today. We are here to provide support and care as we virtually wrap our arms around you. The purpose of healthcare is to be present throughout the lifespan of an individual, no matter the length of time, providing life-improving or sustaining treatments to improve quality or the quantity of life. Although we always wish for the best outcome for all of our patients, we acknowledge that part of life is death. We are committed to being here for our patients and our families during and at the end of life. We also focus on life after death, turning our focus to compassionate comfort and support. We are thankful today that you have joined us for some comfort and support and hope and healing. Healing doesn't mean that you'll never feel the sadness. It just means that you'll be able to have memories without attaching the intense despair. Being able to participate with you today in this memorial service is a special and meaningful way to acknowledge that the death of your loved one matters to us. The nurses, the physicians, the administrators, and the entire healthcare team from across the health system feel the extreme pain and loss of our patients and the loss to our families, and we grieve with and alongside you. This is from an article entitled Common Grief. My child's loss taught me to love harder and appreciate every single day. It taught me to reach out to others and begin sharing my story in hopes that it could reassure other wounded parents that there is life after loss. No one dies without a legacy and a purpose for those of us that are left behind. So today, let's love harder and remember and celebrate that legacy and that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Luann. We are honored to have families joining us today to share their personal experiences and stories of their children. First, please join me in welcoming Heather and Russell West.
Thank you, Amy. We first want to thank everyone for allowing us to share our story. Like so many others in grief, speaking about our daughters and saying their names is so important to our healing. So thank you for giving us that opportunity.
In 2016, we gave birth to our first daughter, Adeline, and shortly after birth, she stopped breathing. We soon found out she had a congenital heart defect. Through 3 hospital transfers, we eventually ended up at CS Mott Children's Hospital, never knowing the impact this place and all the staff would make on our life. Adeline fought her heart defect with a strength that is not matched by many, and a sparkle and light that could light up any room. With us by her side, all 3 of us lived at U of M for 8 months, until May 18th, 2017, when Adeline's fight became too much for her, and she unfortunately passed away, but was surrounded by her love. Our world crumbled on that day, and we have spent years trying to put those pieces back together. In 2018, we welcomed our 2.5-year-old daughter, Oakland, and in 2019, we were lucky enough to be expecting our 3rd daughter, Malin. We quickly found out that Malin had Down syndrome and a heart defect, both unrelated to her sister's diagnosis. We were pretty shaken by this news, but we couldn't wait to bring her here to this earth and fight for her and show her how special her sparkle was. On July 4th, 2020, one day before our induction, Heather went into labor naturally. We rushed down to the hospital, and unfortunately, they were not able to find a heartbeat. Malin was born with her soul already in heaven with her sister.
Our journey in grief has been a long, challenging one that we are actively working through every day. When Adeline passed, so many people rallied around us and showed up for support, a listening ear, and to help with picking up the pieces. When Malin passed, unfortunately, it was different because of the pandemic. Grief is already so isolating, and to not have our support system has been very difficult, to say the least. I know for many of you listening, this has been the case for you too. We just want you to know that we know how difficult loss is, and we are sending you strength to get through this day.
We are always thankful for this time of year. Spring brings up a feeling of new beginnings, but for us, it's those moments of little reminders that our daughters are near, and that brings us a lot of hope. We have always been outdoor people, but nature has taken on a new meaning for us after our children's death. No longer was a sunset just a sunset that we let pass. Now we stop everything, soak it in, and watch in awe as our girls paint the sky. We appreciate the birds chirping in a new way, and always take time to watch butterflies flutter by. These things remind us of our girls. We appreciate nature and its beauty in a way I don't think we were capable of before our daughters.
To survive the last couple of years, we have had to ask ourselves daily, what could help me through this day? Some things that have helped us is always speaking our child's name, no matter who we are talking to, accepting help when people are offering, leaning on each other, and always being open and honest about where we are in our grief. And possibly the most healing for us was finding a group of people who had shared our same experience. For us, leaning on and talking with other lost moms and dads has been so crucial to our healing and finding our way in this world after loss. Engaging in a world that looks so different after loss can be so hard, but having our lost friends to talk to and bounce our emotions off got us through many difficult situations. Those are the things that have helped us. But if we have learned anything over the past 4 years, perhaps the most important thing would be that loss is universal, yet everyone experiences it differently. There's not a timeline to follow or a guidebook. No one should tell you to move on or that you're not grieving in a way they think you should. Some may grieve heavily for years and others may not. The important thing is to lean into your feelings and allow your heart to guide your journey.
From the moment our first daughter was born and our world flipped upside down, we were changed then and there. Her journey through her care of her congenital heart defect, her death, and now the death of our third daughter has put into harsh focus the important things in life. They taught us the importance of family and not taking one breath for granted. They taught us the importance of being kind and giving back, or as we like to call it, spreading your sparkle. Because of our girls, we hope to continue helping others in our position, doing random acts of kindness, doing our yearly blood drives, and always spreading their sparkle.
We want to thank you for allowing us to be on this grief journey with you. It's a road none of us expected to be on, but it helps us to know we are not on this road alone.
Thank you, Heather and Russell, for sharing with us today these beautiful stories of your daughters. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce Robin Bishop and Paula Crosby Flake, who are both members of the Mott Bereavement Committee and mothers who will be sharing their perspectives and reflections over the years following the loss of Robin's son Isaac and Paula's son John.
I'm Paula. My son, John Crosby, died in October 2001, 6 months after being diagnosed with adrenal gland cancer. John, my middle son, was cute, funny, quirky, loved school, his family, and was a good friend to many. He preferred video and board games over team sports, but loved being outside playing in the yard or shooting hoops in our driveway. He wore glasses, which made him even more endearing. I still remember the feeling I had of leaving the hospital without John. I don't know how my feet carried me toward a life of after. Even though moving forward is a lot like walking through quicksand and continues to be difficult even almost 20 years later, I strive to connect with other parents like Robin who truly get it, which is still very much part of my dealing process. I used to say healing process, but as I have learned, grief is like an open wound. No matter how many Band-Aids or how much antibiotic cream you may slather on, the wound is never fully closed. I won't lie and say this approaching 20-year mark of John being absent and my life doesn't hurt. I'm definitely a work in progress when it comes to being a grieving mother. I am blessed to have family who indulges me with allowing me to grieve openly and often. Grief is complicated, messy, and never-ending. While not every day is a happy one, my sad days have become fewer. While I've been placed in the path of newly bereaved parents and caregivers through my work on 7 East here at Mott and through the Patient and Family-Centered Care Program, I'm saddened for this path they must trudge through. I'm hopeful they also in time will find that happier memories will replace the sad, dark days they may be experiencing at the moment. By embracing the memories John left behind, and while we honor him in acts of giving and supporting, I do often wonder, especially around birthdays and other milestones, who he could have been. The unknown is a painful wonder to me every day. I will never forget my son, and while I wished he had more chances to experience life, I will forever be grateful for his 8 short years on earth, where he taught me and many others the true meaning of bravery, courage, and a giving spirit.
Hello, my name is Robin. I'm speaking today in honor of my son, Isaac. He was a beautiful baby boy with golden hair whose life was far too short. Isaac was one of a set of triplets, born very prematurely in July 2001. Our babies were very small and fragile when they were born. Isaac weighed 1 pound, 12 ounces. He spent his entire life in the Holden NICU here at Michigan Medicine, cared for by the amazing NICU team. Isaac was feisty and courageous, fighting to get stronger and bigger every day of his short life. We treasured our time sitting with Isaac and his sisters in the NICU, holding their small hands, reading them stories so they could hear our voices. We dreamed they would all grow bigger and stronger and come home with us. Unfortunately, when they were 1 month and 1 day old, Isaac contracted an infection and passed away very suddenly and unexpectedly. We continue to miss Isaac as each year passes. Today, Isaac's triplet sisters are healthy 19-year-old college students. They are an incredible blessing in our lives, as are his two younger siblings. But we never stop missing Isaac and imagining how his life might have unfolded at each milestone. Sometimes there is an expectation from others that we need to move on from our loss. But the reality for me is that I will always be grieving and missing Isaac. In addition to my grief, I want to share a few of my experiences with hope. Over the years, I have found it helpful to talk to others who have lost children, like my dear friend Paula. It is, of course, something we wish we didn't share, but it has helped me feel less alone in my grief. I'm also grateful to be part of Patient and Family Center Care at Michigan Medicine. Volunteering at the hospital has been a meaningful way for me to give back to the place that took amazing care of my family, and to help other families going through similar experiences. Our family has also developed special traditions to remember Isaac on holidays, birthdays, and the anniversary of his loss that bring us peace. I have learned that everyone experiences grief differently, but I encourage you all to let yourselves grieve in ways that help you. I want to tell you all how very sorry I am for your loss. I hope you will find ways of coping and honoring your child that are comforting to you and your family. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story of Isaac and our journey with his loss.
Thank you so much, Robin and Paula, for being with us today and for these helpful reflections. Now, please enjoy this moment of music as we listen to our musicians, Sophie Heitkamp, Matthew Mihal, and Thomas Mihal, perform Blackbird by the Beatles.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
We are grateful to have many compassionate providers at our health system, and I'm pleased to introduce one of them now. From our Stepping Stones Palliative Care Program, please help me welcome Dr. Ishani Sandasera.
Thank you so much. As a palliative care physician, I meet with many patients and families faced with serious illness. Our team has the opportunity to provide care to those in need, relieve suffering, and provide support. Sometimes we meet families when an illness has progressed and time is shorter. In those situations, we focus not on a specific disease or system, but on a person as a whole and their family. We have conversations about how they want to spend whatever time they have left, what is most meaningful to them, and how we can help achieve those goals. In those moments, we are often allowed a glimpse into the rich and loving lives that patients and their families share on a day-to-day basis. We get to know beloved pets, holiday traditions, and distinct personalities. We hear stories of family trips, likes and dislikes, sibling rivalries, and mischief. These experiences and stories give meaning to all of our lives. I am grateful every day to be a part of each patient's team, to be the kind of doctor who worries less about numbers and test results and thinks instead about how a person and their family define what gives their life meaning. This work gives me a brief window into an intimate process, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Thank you, Dr. Sandasera. In past years, when we've been able to be in person, we have offered an activity for families during the memorial. We wanted to have this important aspect of our memorial continue, even if virtual. Here to introduce this is Susan Mihal.
During this time, we wish for you solace in the many memories that you shared between you and your loved one. We hope you were able to find a peaceful moment to participate in the Nature Mosaic activity that was included in your invitation. The directions to this activity will also be shared at the end of the service if you would like to participate at a later time. Spending time in nature can sometimes remind us of the beautiful connections we have to the world around us. We hope that this Nature Mosaic activity offered you a moment of comfort to reflect on the memories that you shared with your loved one and their everlasting legacy that continues on. During this next song, we hope that you can take this moment to think about your loved one and all those special moments that you made together.
When my heart shuts down, I don't speak. 'Cause behind the muffled beating, I am weak. The earth is ripped with cracks beneath my feet. One word more, they become craters. One word more, they become craters. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder and to go home. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder, to be a wonder and to go home. For a million years, tears were shed. Memories were layered softly, bed by bed. Once the last dam broke, the rivers bled, making way to new beginnings, making way to new beginnings. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder and to go home. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder, to be a wonder. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder and to go home. Oh, the wind in my hair, it sings my song. To be a wonder, to be a wonder.
Thank you for that beautiful music, Wanderer by Mowgli, and performed by Susan Mihal, Matthew Mihal, and Thomas Mihal. There are many lovely written pieces about loss, which can at times bring comfort to many. Reading one of those pieces, titled On the Death of the Beloved by John O'Donohue, here again is Robin Bishop and Paula Crosby Flake.
Though we need to weep your loss, you dwell in that safe place in our hearts where no storm or night or pain can reach you. Your love was like the dawn, brightening over our lives, awakening beneath the dark, a further adventure of color. The sound of your voice found for us a new music that brightened everything. Whatever you unfolded in your gaze quickened in the joy of its being. You placed smiles like flowers on the altar of the heart. Your mind always sparkled with wonder at things. Though your days here were brief, your spirit was live, awake, complete.
We look towards each other no longer from the old distance of our names. Now you dwell inside the rhythm of breath, as close to us as we are to ourselves. Though we cannot see you with outward eyes, we know our soul's gaze is upon your face, smiling back at us from within everything to which we bring our best refinement. Let us not look for you only in memory, where we would grow lonely without you. You would want us to find you in presence, beside us when beauty brightens, when kindness glows and music echoes eternal tones. When orchids brighten the earth, darkest winter has turned to spring. May this dark grief flower with hope in every heart that loves you. May you continue to inspire us, to enter each day with a generous heart, to serve the call of courage and love until we see your beautiful face again in that land where there is no more separation, where all tears will be wiped from our mind and where we will never lose you again.
Thank you, Robin and Paula. And now we dedicate this time to pause and reflect on your loved ones as we cherish their memories and celebrate the light and love they have shared with the world.
Mohsen Ali Ahmed, Grace Nicole Anthony, Michaela Marie Barber, Trinity Barrett, Tysen Jade Benz, Alex James Biggs, Caden Jadiel Burgos Rodriguez, Brady Bustrom, Elena Campbell, Lyle Paul Clendenin, John Robert Crosby, Kaylee Rose Davidson, John Dobb, Daniel Dobrowolski, Mira Gabrielle Dressel, Ava Gianna Giovannini, Daphne Lyric Hannaford, Elena Hopkinson, Zachary M. Howell, Brett Jenkins, Brandon Kenny, Stephen John Kipfmiller, Alston Michael Kirkland, Harper Ann Leckwey, Braxton Ward Lowe, Elizabeth Lynch, Ridge Andrew Matthew, Liam Mills, Ian Michael Miskelly, Carter Craig Moody, Brendan Arthur Moore, Chantel Morris and baby Daniel Isaiah, Annabelle May Nickel, Thomas C. Nasik III, Drake Edward Matthew Post, Carson Ray Ramey, Michael Alexander Randolph, Adeline Reeder, Lena Reeder, Catherine Rogers, Kaylin Amir Ross Howell, Gracie Schneider, Tyler Sen, Ada Shiner, Michaela Ann Smith, Genevieve Victoria Strachan, Bentley Joshua Thatcher, Bobby Call Foy, Alec T. Vorhoff, Raymond John Winter Jr., Shay Ziff,
This was such a moving tribute to so many beautiful and precious lives. Thank you for sharing these very moving photographs and messages. At this time, I would like to welcome Spiritual Care Chaplain resident Kelsey Lewis.
Hello, my name is Chaplain Kelsey Lewis, and on behalf of the Department of Spiritual Care and from all of us at CS Mott Children's Hospital, we hope that you feel peace today as we come together to remember and to honor the life of your loved one. If you would now turn in your programs to the responsive reading. This is an offering of remembrance by Sylvan Kamens and Rabbi Jack Reimer that honors the vast timing of the healing process and acknowledges the necessity and the beauty in remembering. This is a responsive reading, At the end of each phrase, it says, "We remember you," in bold text. As we go through this, I will read the phrases, and if you are open to it, I encourage you to offer the response of each "We remember you" as a way to reflect and remember that your love and the spirit of your loved one lives on eternally. In the rising sun and in its going down, in the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, in the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, in the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, in the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, in the beginning of the year and when it ends, when we are weary and in need of strength, when we are lost and sick at heart, when we have joys we yearn to share, and especially as we have come together today. So long as we live, you too shall live, for you are part of us, and we will always remember you.
Chasing through all of your ways. If the sky were your love, then I am a bird, soaring and searching for where it will land. If you are the ocean, then I am a fish, swimming and diving, seeking your face. If the rain were your touch, then I am a moss, soaking and resting in your tenderness. If you are the wind, then I am a leaf, in sync with your song wherever it leads. And when it is night, then I'll be your star, twinkling and shining till morning dawns. 'Cause you are the sun and I am a cloud, dancing and chasing through all of your rays. The sky is your love and I am a bird, soaring and searching for where it will land. 'Cause you are the sun and I am a cloud, dancing and chasing through all of your rays. The sky is your love and I am a bird, soaring and searching for where it will land.
Thank you for that beautiful piece, You Are the Sun, performed by Matthew Mihal, Sophia Heitkamp, and written and performed by Susan Mihal for our honored children and families. We have come to the end of our time together. As we close, I want to share with you a quote from Dr. Earl Grolman, a counselor, death educator, and rabbi. He said, "Grief is not a disorder, a disease, or a sign of weakness. It is an emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity, the price you pay for love. The only cure for grief is to grieve." Thank you for sharing this time with us today, as we have remembered and grieved together in honoring your special loved ones who have had a common connection as Mott patients, but most importantly, as precious ones who are greatly missed and forever loved. This concludes our program. Thank you all for participating and sharing your loved ones with us. May peace be with you.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and